Daily Devotionals for February 7th. Today's scripture will be Deuteronomy 22, verse 5. Now, let me say this to start with. I think God is so unique in how he squeezes in a message in between. It's like totally, he's talking about something else, and all of a sudden, here comes a message. If you look at the first 4 verses in Deuteronomy 22, he's talking about ox and sheep and how they go astray, what have you, and what to do with them. And he's talking about donkeys and garments. And then verse 5, he says, "A woman shall not wear anything that pertains to a man, nor shall a man put on a woman's garments. For all who do so are an abomination to the Lord your God." He was making a statement way back here in Deuteronomy. And that still speaks today. The rest of the chapter, he's going on about birds and eggs, and then women and marriage, and all that kind of stuff. There's just a variety of things, but this very important message is squished in here, okay, where it seems like it doesn't even belong. It reminds me of in First Chronicles in chapter 4, they're going through all the genealogy and who begat who and all these different people, and then all of a sudden you come to Jabez, and that powerful prayer of Jabez is there, okay? Now God is really making a statement here. Back in this time, men and women, they both wore a tunic, but how were they different? The men's tunic was rather drab, probably like a brown or gray, but it was just drab, where the women's was very colorful. The women wore an apron, not always, but often, and that was probably to tuck their little goodies in, whatever they're doing during the day. And men wore a pouch on their side. Women wore a scarf. They had to cover a shawl. They had to cover their hair, where the men didn't. So there were differences, similarities, but yet differences. When I was reading this, I thought, Lord, I wear slacks a lot. Am I looking like a man? And the Lord's like, no, it's not. He was making a difference of men and women there, and what is an abomination to him. Do I conduct myself? I might wear slacks, and men wear jeans or, trousers. He wasn't condemning that. How do we conduct ourselves? Am I trying to look like a man? Okay, women wore a lot of jewelry, and there's a lot of scriptures that talks about the jewelry. Think about Eleazar, when he went looking for a wife for Isaac. He gave her jewelry. He gave her all these bracelets and a nose for her ring and all this stuff. They wore jewelry, the men didn't. So think about that. What are we doing today? God set a standard way back then. This is an abomination to him if we are trying to conduct ourselves like the opposite sex, okay? So I think we need to be careful of that. It isn't that we can't wear jeans, etc., but how are we conducting ourselves? Are we trying to be something other than what God created us to be, okay? Go by his standard, okay? That's the one that counts. All right? Okay, till next time, be blessed.